Alright. A stable multi-vibrator oscillator fed into an inverter stage, and then another inverter stage feeding a positive grounded power BJT. It's the PNP equivalent to a 2N3055, which feeds that hand-wound transformer at, I believe, 34 turns into 850 turns, 20 gauge to 34 gauge. It does some fancy schmancy shit, and this is actually not true anymore. It's got two inductors right here as a choke and a 47 microfarad 250 volt CIE cap. It's just a, basically what you'd expect from a dual triode power output. It delivers about 1 3/4 watt to 1.5 watt per channel, sometimes 2 watts per channel, depends on the power source. It's got 5 volts in. Right now it's being powered off of USB, off of this guy right here, but it can power off of this 6 volt lead acid battery. It's got a diode right before the power input line. Input transformers, 1 to 5 buffer, all sorts of shit. Basically bog standard. Right now it's running a fat bottle 12AX7. Can't even fit the tube shield on it, it's so big. 1000 turns per 34 turns, semi-concentric wind, hand-wound transformers, driving sound dynamic speakers. So got a Nova 45 pair of headphones plugged in. Helps up the impedance a bit. Costs like nothing. This is honestly probably tied around 11 ohms as an impedance matching, as opposed to the 8 ohms it should be at. But sounds fantastic. Noise floor is impenetrable. The power supply itself runs at 32 kilohertz above human hearing. Pretty good. Draws about an amp at max load at 5 volts for 5 watts. It has a varistor at the power input to limit anything above a pulse max of 1.45 amps. There is about, I'd say 100 volts cold plate at startup, which is usually not a good idea, but seeing as it is tied directly to ground through the input transformers, and not drawn here is I have 1 meg here. Yeah, I do have a meg here. There's a space charge grid leak too. Cute little amp. Adorable little card-based construction. Barrel jack in, power, line in, center tapped. This is isolated from chassis. Inputs isolated, floating power supply. I don't know if it's drawn here, but power supply is indeed floating. And so is the power inputs of it. Cool stuff. Little 12AX7. Best sounding is probably the 12AX7 or a Raytheon 12AU7. I have about 1 million of these RCA 12AU7s, 1957, week 26, that I pulled out of a Hammond organ, and they just don't sound the same. They have a lot of cut, even though I'm biasing these fairly cool. So, fun little thing. I'll post this schematic online if anyone feels like doing it. Custom wound transformers, so probably not, but you know, fun times.